just trying to survive and learn to love along the way, by Foreplay on AO3. Episode 85, Chapter 85, of Results and Family. This is the most people they've had in his dad's apartment. It's early in the morning. Izuku can tell that nobody got much sleep, too anxious to hear about the results of the trial. The jury must have taken forever to come up with a decision. But now his dad's call him up, and so he assumes that there's news. Izuku had actually slept over at his dad's last night, but when they woke him up this morning, he invited Hitoshi as well. Kirishima had dragged Kachan with him, and now they were just waiting for Shouta to make an appearance, so that they could get this over with. There was a light knock on the door, so Izuku answers it, since his dads are in the kitchen. It's Shouta, just as expected. He looks just as exhausted as the rest of them, and he's silent as he follows Izuku back to the living room. They wait for an awkward 2 minutes for his dads to return with refreshments, and when they do, nobody really pays attention to their drink in hand. Everyone's eyes are glued to where his dads stand a few feet from both couches. All right, problem children. I know you're all worried about this, so I'll get right to it. The jury all voted to have Endeavor thrown in jail. Unfortunately, the judge doesn't have to go through with their decision. Everyone is tense. They didn't just go through hell for Endeavor to walk free, did they? For some god-awful reason, the judge decided not to throw the man's ass in jail. But he isn't some Endeavor sympathizer. He's getting his ranking and his license revoked. Izuku isn't getting his hope up yet. It could be something temporary. Endeavor is never going to be a hero again. He won't be able to get his license back. Shoto's voice is so small on his left. He looks like he's trying not to hope too much. Never. There is one more thing, Todoroki, but we can speak about it privately if you wish. Shoto's face changes from hopeful back to nervous in a matter of seconds. Can Izuku stay? His dad doesn't look the least bit surprised. Of course. The rest of you are free to leave. The other three leave, Toshi giving his hand an extra squeeze before he goes. Todoroki, as I'm sure you've guessed, this has to do with the other part of the trial. Shouta nods beside him, as his dads sit on the vacant couch. They've taken his parental rights. You'll never have to see him again, if you don't want to. But what will happen once we're allowed to leave the dorms? What if the dorms have to close down for Christmas or something? Shouta is tense when Izuku puts a comforting hand on his shoulder. Even then, you'll always have a place to stay, Todoroki. If something happens with the dorms, we'll just take you in. Shouta releases what Izuku hopes to be a relieved sigh, and then finally, he cracks. Shouta breaks into loud sobs beside him, and Izuku only hesitates a second before wrapping his arms around his friend and pulling him in close. His other dad, who so far hasn't said a word, sits down on Shota's other side and wraps his arms around the two of them. Izuku knows how special it feels to be surrounded by love like this, so he completely understands when Shouta sobs even louder. They sit like that for a while, long enough for Shota's sobs to die down, and long enough for Izuku to feel like he could fall asleep. He thinks that his friend has until he speaks up. Aizawa-sensei. Yes? Can you just call me Shoto? I don't want to be a Todoroki. He shrinks a little, as if he's afraid that his dad will say no. Of course, Shoto. His friend releases a heavy sigh and sinks into their hold a little more. How about we go see Touya? He probably wants to hear about this, and I know it's been a bit since you've been able to see him. Shoto perks up immediately at his dad's suggestion. His friend stands and moves eagerly to the door, while his dad moves at a much more relaxed pace. Izuku, did you want to come? No, that's all right, Shoto. I might go hang out with Toshi. The two of them leave with a smile and a wave, leaving Izuku and his dad on the couch. A Shoto-sized hole between them. You okay, listener? He jumps a little when his dad's questioned. What? Of course. You sure? I know you had a tough time yesterday. Well, Izuku can't deny that. I'm a little worried. About your quirk. Izuku nods. It may be easier this way, baby. It's always been so hard on you, keeping that secret. Maybe, but once people find out what it really is and why I was chosen, they'll find out that I was quirkless before. It's one of his biggest fears, everyone finding out about his past. And you think that will change their opinion of you? Yeah, who knows what the rest of the class will think? I think they'll respect you even more. You fought through so much to get here, Izuku. If your class finds out just how much, they'll think you're even cooler. Izuku hesitates to reply. While he knows for sure that some of them wouldn't change how they feel about him, he doesn't know a lot of his class very well. And if they don't, I know a few people who'll make sure they do. Izuku laughs a little. That sounds right. His dads have his back, as well as the other teachers here. Izuku's small friend group would stand up for him too. Maybe even Kachan. Still, that's not all that kept him up last night. There's something else on your mind. He nods. What is it, baby? It's about what the Hero Commission guy said when you were on the stand. Yeah. His dad inches a little closer to him, as a quiet response. What did he say? Nobody else could hear him when he leaned in close like that. He said that the commission is interested in my quirks. Shit. They both sit in silence for a minute, before his dad speaks up again. Hey baby, what do you think about staying here today? I've got to talk to Sho about this, and I'd rather the commission didn't come knocking again. Can Toshi hang out too? Of course, listener. Why don't you shoot him a message, then I'll go find Dad. His dad waits for him until Toshi appears. He then proceeds to squash Izuku in one of his firm hugs, giving an awkward looking at Toshi, a little hair ruffle while he's at it. Alright, be good, listeners. I love you, baby. His dad is gone, and it's just Izuku and his boyfriend left. So, how do you feel about How to Train Your Dragons? Alright, okay. Well, I just got reminded, yeah, that person really did say that the Hero Commission is interested in Izuku's quirk, and the reprimands of that could be, wow. Also, I hate that Endeavor did not go to jail, but he did not get scot-free. He will never be a hero again. He got that taken away from him. And hopefully there's some more reprimands. I also love that Shoto ended up not having to have Endeavor be his parental figure. Love that. He does not deserve that. He does not. And it is sad to think that that is something that could have happened. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. Not crying. You're crying. But I'm glad that Shoto is free now, and I'm glad that Endeavor will never have to see Shoto, and that Endeavor doesn't have to be a part of Shoto's life, and that Shoto is free, right? So chapter 86 is of questions and the big three. Summary: work studies are coming up, and it looks like that means the big three scouting their class. Okay, as I predicted, that's probably just gonna be a regular one. I wonder what the Hero Commission thing is gonna happen. I'm so scared. Okay, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Links to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.